And 3, 2, 1, and we're live. So I want to talk about Christmas and Thanksgiving are coming up really shortly, and I
Yeah.
just want to talk about that because I really hope that people listening come in support during these times, because it's Thanksgiving and Christmas, they're celebrations.
Yeah.
And I think too often we look at the price tag on it,
Yeah.
and we're too focused on that part of it, because I want my mom and Rebecca and people we have over to have this amazing experience where they walk away and they go, I remember that. And it's not about going to Safeway and getting the $13 turkey and the cheapest potatoes and the dollar store gravies. Like, it's about putting in that work. So when they're eating, they're going, wow,
You want to sit down after and feel like you have an internal hug.
Exactly, and feel good about your body and not feel gross and weighed down. And like, if you buy those really cheap meals, that might be something people have to do to survive and to cope. They might have to go to Safeway or Walmart or wherever it is. But on these days, we need to take care of ourselves, and we need to pamper ourselves a little bit and treat the people around us well. And I think that that's something where we should talk about the food, because I know people who have been like, oh, like, I'm just going to do it cheap, like, whatever, it's no big deal. I'll do everything from Safeway and it'll all be put together super easy. And it's like, but it's about the story. It's not just about
the effort.
Exactly. What did you go and put into it? When you're inviting people over to your home, it's like, are you proud of the work you put into it? Or do you feel like you were a slave and you're, oh, like, I have to make food for these people and I don't want to have to do that, and you complain about it. But when you're putting in this work and you're like, because Rebecca, when she first showed me the steaks, she was like, just looking at me, waiting to see exactly how I reacted. And I reacted with, like, it was just salt and pepper, and it was just perfect. And those experiences, I've had people come over, I've given them the twice baked potatoes, and the reaction is just like, this is amazing. And it's like, I like giving, why would you not want to give that to people? Why would you not want to provide that if you're doing a Thanksgiving dinner? So please tell us about how the turkeys are raised. Tell us how all of it comes about, so people can really be excited about giving this to their families on Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Anyone that knows me knows I love to cook, and that is how I show my love and bless people, is just when I have people over, I just love to just give them a good meal. I want them to feel absolutely full when they're done. And I agree with you on that. Like, when you put that passion, that time behind it, like, instead of doing sidekick potatoes, why not just buy a bag of potatoes, peel them, boil them, add some butter, garlic, salt, and pepper, and make your own mashed potatoes? I know it's more work, and I know that, but man, it feels great. The stuff going in you, like, it's not a powdered thing now with all the preservatives and extra salt and everything to it, right? So, the turkeys we have from Rossdown Farms in Abbotsford. It's a third-generation farm. They do everything from laying the eggs to hatching them to raising them to doing the butchering to sending them out. So it's a really cool family. And it's all free range outdoor. So you can get a lot of turkeys that are I have no idea how places can sell turkeys for 69 cents to 99 cents a pound. I really have no idea, because if you look at the animal itself, should be around maybe $1.89 to $2 per pound just for the animal. And then you have to pay for the person that has to do the butchering. Then you have to pay for the distribution of it, the feed, everything else for that. How do you get it that cheap? What is that animal being fed? How much room does it have to run around? Like, what do you have to do to cut corners? And why are they so big? Someone talking to me like, why don't you have 30-pound turkeys? I'm sorry, but that is not a realistic weight unless you have growth hormones in your feed and in that turkey. A lot of times you can tell by the stretch marks. So when you start seeing turkeys and you start seeing stretch marks on them, it means they're growing at a rate that their body cannot naturally process. So I don't know. It's a crazy question, man. When you see turkeys that are free range, they're running around, they have muscle mass, they actually can run. They're not like where their breasts are so big that they just fall over, they have to like stay like lying on the ground. When you actually see that, we are hard pressed to get anything above 22 pounds. Really hard pressed. Like, out of a flock of maybe 1,000 birds, we might have maybe 8 to 20 of them are going to be above the 20-pound mark, right? And it just depends on how much they're eating and what their genetics are. When you look at humans, the difference, people forget that with all animals, is that everything is completely different. Every beef that I cut up is completely different than the other one because they all have a little bit different genetics. Some of them might be longer, some of them might be heavier, some of the, they could all be raised the exact same way, but they'll come out different. Yeah, so we do that with the turkeys, with Ross down on that, and we only do fresh. So we don't do frozen, we don't do butter balls or anything like that. But we offer a lot of different stuff for people. So I have one person that usually does turduckens. And what that means is you do one cut on the backbone of the turkey and you debone the entire bird from the inside. And then so you have a complete boneless turkey, duck, and chicken. And then we make our own different stuffings from scratch, and we put our own rubs on them. And then you tie them all together. So it's like a big ball of 18 pounds of boneless meat. And it'll normally feed like 25 to 35 people. So people will split it in half and have it for, you can cryovac it and freeze it for a year and have it for another meal. But now with COVID, it's just now one family, like smaller. So now I'm like, well, I know you're used to that. So why don't I just debone the turkey breasts, butterfly them, stuff them, and roll them for you? And then that way you can have, still a unique dinner. Or people that are like, one turkey is too much for me. And I'm like, well, let's cut it in half or let's do pieces, right? And that's the thing, when you have a relationship with your butcher, you can get custom things done, right?